So I have just spent the past 6 hours simulating inside of NBA 2K22, and we have finally made it to the year 2101. If you guys aren't aware, every year in MyLeague/MyNBA, you can simulate 80 years into the future, and that is exactly what I have done. We are in the NBA 80 years in the future. I do this every year. Last year is 2100, this year 2101. Let's just go back in time and check out what has happened during these past 80 years. I don't even know where you go. Okay, it's in league news, and then if we come down here to league history, we got NBA records, NBA history, team records, team history, retired jerseys, and rule change history. So we're going to start off here with NBA history. This is starting off with the season awards, so we can go ahead and check out the season awards throughout all the years. But I want to start where we are today, and that is the 2021-2022 season. And according to 2K, Giannis will win MVP this year. Then we got Luka, Trae Young. Then we got Chet Holmgren, who's coming into the NBA. I mean, this guy's a beast. He is ranked #1 right now for this upcoming NBA draft. He wins back-to-back, then LaMelo Ball getting an MVP in. Then Chet wins 2 more, LaMelo with 2 more. Then it goes back over to Chet, and then Luka with another MVP. At this point, he's going to be like 35 or something, so pretty impressive for him. Then we go back over to Chet, LaMelo Ball again. Chet wins it 3 more times. And then after this, I believe this is all just auto-generated players. We do not know any of the players after Chet wins his final MVP in 2038. I mean, him and LaMelo dominated the NBA for years. But let's see if anybody went on any crazy runs. We have Lamar Cooper with 3, Kent Robbins with 4 in a row, and then Lamar Cooper again with another 3 MVPs in a row. We keep coming up here. Robert McKenzie won a few. Sidney Hopkins. Oh my gosh, he won a ton in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. And he was interrupted here by Robert, and then interrupted again by Yuri. And then he goes on and wins 2 more in a row. Then we got Berea winning a few, and then it goes to a bunch of different players for a few years. Nobody really winning a ton in a row. It kind of goes between Philemon and Joshua Law. Then Maurice Dawson dominating for 4 years in a row. Is there going to be any more than 4? I think our highest was 6, and that is going to be the highest. Ben Hawkins was on a 3 streak here, but obviously this is the end of the simulation. We cannot go any more into the future. Next up, we got Rookie of the Year, and obviously other than this year and the next few years, we have no idea who these people are going to be. We got Cade Cunningham for 2022. We got Chet for 2023, Victor for 2024, PJ Wagner for 2025. And then after this, these are just made up draft classes. That is all I was able to download 1, 2, 3 years into the future. And then so the rest of this doesn't really matter because we have no idea who these guys are. Next up, we got 6 Man of the Year 22. We got Andre Drummond, Nurkic got it, Christian Wood, Wendell Carter, Christian Wood again. Markelle Fultz wins it, Moses Moody. And look at this, DJ Wagner winning it 4 years in a row. So very good 6 man there. Jokic wins it in 2035 for the Toronto Raptors. SGA wins it 2 years in a row. These guys are obviously pretty old at this point. And I wonder if anybody wins it more than like 2 or 3 times in a row. It's not looking like it. Okay, Tyler Simmons wins it 3 times in a row. Mladen, I don't know how to say his name, wins it 3 times in a row. And is there anybody else that won it anymore? No. So those are all the 6 mans. Obviously, we don't know any of these guys. And coming over to Defensive Player of the Year now. So 2022 it goes to Giannis, then it goes to AD, and then look how many times Giannis wins it in a row. That's 5 times in a row. Jaren Jackson wins it, and Giannis wins it another 2 times. So what is this in total? 9 Defensive Player of the Years for Giannis here, which is insane. Holmgren wins it a few years. Evan Mobley wins it 3 times in a row. Goes back to Holmgren. Evan Mills got 4 times in a row there. Let's see if anybody can beat that 5 times by Giannis though. And yes, Sidney Hopkins does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 times in a row he wins Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think anybody is even coming close to that. I mean, Gordon here is doing pretty good, but not quite 9. Maurice, Benjamin, a lot of guys winning it back to back to back to back, but nobody beating 9. Next up, we got most improved player. And again, this is going to be one of the ones where we don't know that many players. We got Gafford in 2022, the Cum Bucket in 23, Chet in 24, and then he goes on for his crazy career. But yeah, I guess most of these guys we do not know who they are, so does it really matter? Next, we have like the all NBA teams, but these are going to take forever to go through, so I'm not even going to attempt to go through them all. That it would take so long. But I want to check out these coaches of the years. I wonder if anybody, like any current players, ends up being a coach in the future, and it doesn't look like it. It's all random generated coaches. We got Luke Walton in 2044 still coaching. Anybody else here? Nick Nurse in 36. We just go to current, like 2024. It's Nate McMillan wins it back to back. Budenholzer for 2022. And that's all the season awards. So up next, we will go to our past champions here. All right, so we're back to 2022. It is the Clippers, according to 2K, that wins it. Paul George MVP. And then the Hawks win it back to back with Trae Young as the MVP. We got the Raptors. Let's go Raps. Siakam MVP. Then the Pistons get it with Cade. 76ers. We got Houston with Jalen Green, OKC with Josh Giddey. So it's a lot of like the younger players winning it here. Scotty Barnes with the Raptors, Evan Mobley with the Cavs. It's a lot of young players. Here's Ja Morant. There's really the only guy that's not a rookie, but most of these guys are like rookies this year, and they end up having crazy seasons. Nobody really dominant throughout these years. Like it's going back and forth between a ton of different teams until 2040. A three-peat for the Atlanta Hawks. 3 different finals MVPs as well. LaMelo Ball gets it one year. I think he's going to be like 40 at this time. So pretty surprising that he gets that. Then Spurs back-to-back. Kings get back-to-back there. That goes back and forth through a ton of teams. Let me know if your team ends up making it in here. Sorry if your team didn't get in there. It's unfortunate if you're going to have to rebuild for this long and not win a championship. But the Grizzlies get a 3-peat. It would have been a 4-peat, but the Lakers interrupted that. And then this is probably the craziest thing of the simulation. The Timberwolves go off with Barea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 championships in a row. That is insane. And would have been 7, but they lost in 2066 for their first one. And that is the most dominant team out of any of these teams. Again, it's going to a bunch of different teams into the future, and the Raptors, our most recent champion in 2100. Next up, we got our league leaders, and this will be interesting to see how many points per game they score per season, because sometimes the rules change, and as you can see here, players are only scoring like 14 points per game. We got 35.7 by Tyson Gordon, which is a lot of points, but I wonder if anybody else can beat that, and I don't think so. It's looking like that 35.7 is going to be the highest. It was pretty low again here in the teens in 2052. They probably increased the shot clock or just got rid of it. That's usually the case. And then here we can see a bunch of players we know: Jalen Green, Luka, LaMelo Ball getting it 33 points per game for a few seasons. And in 2022, it went to Luka Doncic. Next up, we got rebounds per game. I'll kind of just find the highest. Rebounds per game might get lower and lower throughout the years. Looks like 15 might be the highest. Maybe with that 35.7 will be the highest. Okay, 2075, 18.2 boards per game. And that is going to be the highest, 18.2. Assists per game next. Again, I'll just kind of go through here and find the highest. We got 12 assists per game in 2076, 12.5 in 2060. And is anything going to beat that? It does not look like it. We are down to 2022 with Jokic. But this Roland George guy did very well for a few years. And then we got our players going into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, we have no idea who most of these guys are, but let's see if we can find some current players. All right, so starting off here in 22, we got Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, looking like all these guys retiring. Chris Paul, Jimmy, Westbrook, Harden, Durant making it in, Paul George, Steph Curry, Lillard, Kawhi, Kyrie, AD, Embiid, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle, Lonzo Ball, Bam. Where's my boy? Where's Kyle Lowry though? How did Kyle Lowry not make it in here? I mean, we got all the top guys from today's NBA. We got Banchero here. He's an up and coming guy. Jalen Green, Mobley. Zion making it in 2040. So it looks like he played a long career. LaMelo Ball also playing for a really long time. And after this, we don't know anymore, guys. So that's everything for the league history. Up next, we'll go ahead and check out NBA records, see if anything has been broken. And right off the bat, LeBron James, the career leader for points, 42,610. Kareem is now 6th. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, Doncic, and Chet Holmgren all passing him. So pretty impressive there. Now Zion Williamson also in the top 10 as well, nearly passing Karl Malone. He also had a really long career. Field goals made, it's still going to be Kareem on top. LeBron right below him with the 3-point shots. Some of these guys probably set some crazy records. 3-pointers made, Anthony Edwards actually gets at 6,700 3-pointers made throughout his career. Then we had LaMelo Ball. I thought there'd be some guys in the future that were crazy at threes, but I guess not. Where does Steph Curry sit on this list? Steph Curry is 17th all time. That is crazy. That is so low for him. Free throws made, it's still Karl Malone on top. Then we have LeBron, Kevin Durant, Harden, Zion, and LaMelo Ball all getting in there. Like LaMelo Ball is one of the greatest players of all time, according to these records and his MVPs and everything. Rebounds, nobody is going to beat the rebounds. Not really even coming close to Will. We got Chet doing pretty good with 18,000 here. Assists, again, John Stockton is just not beatable. Tyler Simmons, LaMelo Ball getting pretty close. And Chris Paul, 4th all time. Blocks per game, again, Chet is really the only guy getting up here for some of these ridiculous stats that probably won't be beaten. We got steals. LaMelo Ball is the all-time steals leader, 3,325 minutes per game. Total minutes, it was LeBron James, so he had to play the most minutes to get the most points. And we go over to turnovers. LeBron with the most. We got LaMelo, Westbrook, Harden, Cade Cunningham, and Luka in the top 10 as well. Going over to points per game, nobody's going to beat this. It's still going to be a Jordan on top with 30.1 and Wilt. We have anybody? We got Luka. He averaged 26.2 throughout his career. LeBron with 26. KD, Anthony Edwards. Where's LaMelo Ball? I'm surprised he's actually not in the top there. Field goal percentage, Mitchell Robinson, 69.7% throughout his career. That is crazy. DeAndre Jordan, Robert Williams, Zion Williamson all up there as well. 3-point percentage, Leroy Drew shot 45.7% throughout his career. Here's Steve Kerr. I wonder where Steph Curry ended up getting. We got Rudy Curry. Steph Curry looking like he's not up here at all. We got Seth at number 28, but no Steph. Free throw percentage, J.R. Baldwin, Jalen Green, and Corey Kispert all with 97.7%. Rebounds per game, nobody's going to beat this. I mean, guys got close to total rebounds, but not per game. Assists per game, again, one of these like unbeatable records that isn't going to happen in the future. Same with blocks per game, steals per game, same with minutes per game. Wilt played 45.8 throughout his career. Games played, though, Isaiah Stewart with the most, 1,700. Fouls, Isaiah Stewart up there as well. 40-point games. Okay, so this is interesting. We got Anthony Edwards, 133, and he was the closest. 50-point games. Nobody really getting up here. It's just James Harden. 23. We had Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, but nobody beating any of those records. Of course, Westbrook ending with the most triple doubles. Nobody else coming close to him. Last thing I want to check out is the single game record. So points in a game. Nobody's going to beat the 100, but LaMelo Ball and Trae Young getting in the top 5 with 77, 74 points. 3-pointers made. This guy in 2058 had 17 in a game. Free throws made. We got Joel Embiid this year upcoming on October 30th, getting 26 free throws in a game. Rebounds, nobody in there. Assists, nobody in there. Blocks, nobody in there. Steals, nobody in there. Minutes, nobody in there. Turnovers, we got this guy in 2063 with 13. Same with LaMelo Ball and Ben Simmons, all tied for 13 turnovers. And there's everything for games in a season. So that's all the NBA records. I guess the last thing we'll check out here, I mean, we got retired jerseys. I don't really want to go through every single year and check that out because who cares that much? So the last thing we'll check out is this rule change history. And let's just go to all history and kind of pick out some of the craziest changes we had. There was quite a few. So this is probably an awful one here. In 2024, players will not be eligible for the entry draft until at least 4 years removed from high school, or you have to be 22 if you're international. That's an awful rule. I hope that never comes into effect. They changed the number of fouls to 5 instead of 6 to foul out. Eliminate short-term contracts. Salary cap goes up. There's a possession arrow instead of jump balls. Sudden death rule in OT. If a game goes into OT, the first team to score. That would be crazy if that were the case. 5-second back to the basket violation is taken out. Backcourt violations will no longer be called in 2040. You can just go backcourt. They're getting rid of some of the best rules. They got rid of the sudden death in 2042, which is good. In 2043, maximum length of a regular contract is 3 years. And here we go. Here's the worst rule to be added. 2050, change the shot clock to 35 seconds. What a dumb rule. And that kind of ruined the NBA for years because there's hardly any scoring. And then in 2056, they decreased it to 20 seconds. Then they got rid of the goaltending rule in 2057. Some of these rule changes. And then in 2095, they increased the shot clock to 45 seconds. That is so crazy. I wonder what the salary cap right now is. Where can we check that out? Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at the team's salary total. $463 million for the 76ers. Salary cap room, they're $152 million over. So what's the salary cap? Like $310 million? That is insane. We got Jay Douglas. He's making $101 million just this season. Is anybody making more than him, I wonder? This guy's making $122 million. He makes $138 million in 2 seasons. Oh my gosh, these contracts are ridiculous. Imagine making $100 million per season. Should be the highest, I assume. I don't know if there's any other crazy contracts. 123. Oh my gosh, like it's like 310 plus the luxury tax. There's so much. These guys are getting paid in 2101. All right, so I guess the last thing to do here is simulate this final season of playoffs. You might notice the bracket is a little different from the beginning of the video because I accidentally forgot to save and I had to resimulate this final season of 2101. But let's get into this final season of playoffs and see who wins the final championship. And in the NBA Finals, we have the Grizzlies versus Wizards. And in a super low scoring game, the Washington Wizards are going to be our champions. 75-64 because of this 45-second shot clock. This is awful. But congratulations to Wizards fans. You have the final championship of this simulation. Oh, look at Hawkins. That dude is huge. And one thing I'm interested to find out is Adam Silver still the guy that presents the trophy? It is. Adam Silver is still alive in 2101. That is insane. Female GM here, which is huge though. Or is that the coach? I think that's the coach. We got a female head coach, which is good. And finals MVP goes to this guy. That is such a generic 2K player. Congrats on winning finals MVP though. Scoring the highest for the Wizards was 17 points, man. Imagine an NBA like this. That would suck. But we should be done now if we advance. And there we go. You have reached the end of your chance to get the highest score you can in MyNBA. You're welcome to continue or start again for a chance to go for an even higher score. Now, I have no idea what the score thing is because I was not playing throughout this. I had all the score stuff turned off as well. But there we go. There's the NBA in 2101, man. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. This took so long to simulate. And subscribe to the channel. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Never at ease, I don't know a limit. Chasing a dream, I don't know what sleepers. I got a queen, she lit me to eating. She ripe like a peach and she snapped me to snippet. We well overdue for that link up in person. Text me to fall through a murder, she wrote it. Still up with courage, you're doing a service. Pull up to the crib, I'm equipped with the brush strokes. Cutthroat from the low when no